One of the topics that comes up frequently with especially our new clients, can be how do I actually replace my income in retirement? And I think that comes down to a number of different sources when we talk about replacement.
Yeah, absolutely. So, once a client reaches retirement, there's really, a handful of places that we will then begin to source that income replacement from. So, for most people, that's primarily going to come from a retirement account, typically a 401k, maybe an IRA if there have been some prior rollovers. After tax savings is usually another bucket. And then there are things like Social Security and pensions or annuities that provide, kind of month to month steady stream income.
Right. Um, and then, for a lot of clients, I think, especially early on, there is some level of comfort with having a set date that it's deposited
Yeah.
into the account. And even, it might be bi-monthly so that it really mirrors that check from.
Feels like a paycheck. Yeah, we do get that quite often where someone's used to getting that paycheck every couple of weeks, they retire, and now maybe even monthly feels too infrequent. So we do try and work around what's the right amount, and then how often should there be a deposit that hits that bank account and really feels like, okay, I'm still receiving some
Right.
income month over month to fund lifestyle.
So, and to your point, so kind of talk about how you arrive at the
Oh,
right
right.
amount, if you will.
Right. So that really comes down to some detailed financial planning. So as we move towards retirement and beginning to draw income off a portfolio, we would have had a really detailed conversation, gone through kind of what are these clients' goals? What are they looking to spend? What are these sources of income that are available? And then how do we put that all together to create a distribution plan that um, obviously accomplishes their goals and fills their lifestyle, but then also being mindful that we're not overdrawing or spending down too quickly, and that's not a one and done shot, right?
Right.
So that's sort of an ongoing conversation of, what's the right amount.
Right. Um, I think probably one of the things that maybe is top of mind for clients right now is, we're seeing a lot of high levels of inflation
Sure.
on groceries, gas, maybe even their property taxes. Is, let's say that somebody starts out at a certain level of withdrawal, can they increase that over time?
Yeah, of course. So, and that is one of the things that we build into our models is looking at just as a base assumption that there will be some inflation adjustment to
Okay.
those expenses. And so, as we're working down to the details of what is this monthly distribution, we're factoring in things like inflation.
Okay. And then one last topic that I'm sure can come up is, many of our clients have different types of retirement accounts. It might be a traditional IRA or a Roth, or like you said, a taxable account, a trust account. What's helpful in deciding where the money comes from?
Right. So I like to think of that as kind of a year by year decision where we're looking at different tax implications. So the goal being that over time we're providing the most tax efficient withdrawal strategy for that client. And that usually is a conversation toward the end of the year of, where did we shape up tax wise, and then what do we need to do for the following year.
Perfect. Again, not meant to be a comprehensive conversation. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out.